Hey guys, Dislitter Magic here, and this is a webpage that popped up on magic.wizards.com, kind of promoting the upcoming Magic 25. No actual spoilers. In fact, if you scroll down, it's an entire history of all of Magic. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Like, this is straight up like, here's alpha and beta, and then wow, I mean, look at this. Like, you guys should check this out. It's pretty cool. It's really heavy on pro play, which I don't care about. I mean, early games, they're all cheaters. Late, they're all cheaters, but they're covering it up better. So wow, how impressive. But you know, product history, release dates and stuff, that's kind of cool. But what I'm more interested in is this on top. Let's just grab that real quick. All right, ready for the speed round? Fallen Angel. Also Fallen Angel, just slightly later, I guess. Kind of get where they're going at. Phyrexian Rager, the early days. And then the much better looking Phyrexian Rager, which is one of the best looking foils in the game. Then Shivan Dragon, totally old school version. And then, of course, slightly newer Shivan Dragon. So were these examples of cards that were just famous in the last 25 years of Magic, and they're just meant to be examples, and obviously they're art comparisons of cards that were reprinted through the years because of their, I guess, famousness? Or is it possible that we just saw the first 3 spoilers from Masters 25? Well, let's look at the cards, because remember, value and draftability is what they're going for. So let's start with Fallen Angel, just because it's first. 3/3 for 5 double black. Flying, that's not bad. Sacrifice a creature, it gets +2/+1 until end of turn. It's a nice, you know, threat, like a no-tap, no-mana threat that you could do at any point. You could activate it 3 times and ta-da, you've got a giant flyer. So this could win the game by sacking everything else. You could do tricks in the middle of combat, and it's all right. I mean, it's like 50 cents. I mean, that's like the really early, like a Chronicles version. I mean, in draft, a 5 cost isn't that unreasonable. Flying is always good. I mean, do you really want to sack more of your creatures? But the fact that you could get this above 5 and flying really easily, I could see it, I guess. Oh, and also, the card has been printed not only just a long time ago, but a lot of times total. I would tell you the number of times, but the Gatherer is down right now. My guess would be about 8, somewhere in that neighborhood, which is quite a bit. Next up, one of the best looking foils in the game. I'm glad I have 2 of these. It's Phyrexian Rager. It's a 2/2 for 3, and it's a common, so I can see that fitting. And when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life, which is really good. I mean, especially in draft, that's pretty good. I mean, it's sort of what people call a cantrip. It might be a little bit on the expensive side for that, but I mean, a true cantrip costs 0 mana, but, you know, come on. Most people call it a cantrip if it costs 1. But basically, you cast it, and then it replaces itself with the next card on top of your library. And if you get enough of that going, and you have enough mana, you're good to go. So yeah, it's a 25-cent card, but it's a common. So, I mean, do you really need to put value in the common slot, or do you just need to put really famous cards? Once again, Gatherer is down. I don't know how many times this is printed. I guess at least twice. I know the Phyrexians weren't in that many storylines, but they are very iconic. Speaking of that, I don't know if you noticed the set logo there, or have a really good memory. Why, yes, it was just in Iconic Masters, and since Masters 25 pretty much is Iconic Masters with 1 year added, oh, and I feel like maybe cards from Rivals and Ixalan won't be in it, it's pretty much the same set. It would be weird not to see repeats, although very limited repeats, because, you know, the number one thing is they want a sellable product that's worth money. They want value. They want to move boxes. You really can't do that with a 50% overlap unless the other 50% are something pretty wild. Now, the question is, let's step back for a second here. Is it really iconic creatures and everything? Have you guys noticed that there's basically not even a base level description of anything about Masters 25, which is odd considering its release date? Now, I'm not going to get into why they're doing it. I very much know why they're doing that, but did they really say it's going to be iconic, memorable, famous? No, people are just filling that in. I mean, I think word for word what their actual product page said was, these are some cards from the 25 years of Magic. Really, are they? They basically said, this is a reprint set. Yeah, we knew that. Hey guys, these are cards you've seen before. Oh, and FYI, they're from every format. Okay, so we know nothing about this. It could just be expensive cards, nothing but cards that required a reprint. Because remember, Iconic Masters just came out. So I mean, does Phyrexian Rager need a reprint? No, it was just in Iconic Masters, whatever the hell Masters it was called, whatever. The one with the Overwatch logo, that one. But going in with the theory that it will be memorable cards where people look at them and say, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, that's powerful. Oh, that's valuable. Oh, that hasn't been printed in a while. You know, the usual mix of stuff for an Eternal style set. So let's just proceed with that in mind. Just keep in mind that they never guaranteed that that's what's going on. So the next one is, of course, Shivan Dragon. This card has been printed to death. I mean, probably 10 plus times easily. But when it comes to iconic cards, it doesn't get much more iconic than this. Now, as far as I recall, I don't think Shivan Dragon was actually in Iconic Masters, which is kind of surprising. But, I mean, let's look at it. It's a 6 cost 5/5 flyer, so that's, you know, decent. I mean, it's a little up there for like a draft, but whatever. And then it has fire breathing, basically. You pay 1 red and get +1 attack, and you can activate it multiple times. And this and Sarah Angel, I heard, were like the bombs in early Magic. If you wanted to win a game, you put them in your deck and you got them out, and you just raced to 6 mana. Hey guys, want to know a fun fact? Back in the early days of Magic, you could not mulligan unless you had 7 or 0 lands in your hand. If you're playing a Shivan Dragon deck and you had 1 land in your opening hand, guess what? You're starting the game with 1 land. Gee, I can see why they changed that. So this card's between 25 and 50 cents because it's been printed to death and it's not that good. I mean, it was in the 2017 Welcome deck. I mean, come on. That's actually almost the only copy I own, surprisingly. But yeah, it's not very valuable. It would be a very bad choice of a rare in the rare slot. I mean, this thing was printed in every damn set up through core sets. I mean, 10th edition, just everything. So do we need a reprint? No, but is it really good for draft and very, like, noticeable and historically important? Yes. So Fallen Angel, I could see that being in there just for draft and because it's old school. And then we got Phyrexian Rager. Okay, I mean, the Phyrexians, they're pretty famous. It's a really, really good card for draft. And then we look at Shivan Dragon. Okay, it's still a game ender and still powerful for draft, and people will recognize it. I'm going to say all 3 of them are in Masters 25. It's realistic. I'm not saying, yes, absolutely confirmed, and oh my god, sell all your copies. First of all, none of those cards are worth anything, which is the drawback. But I think that they are previewing 3 that are in there. I think the banner is realistic. Then again, maybe they just said, go pick out some famous cards where the artwork changed over time and put them in a slideshow. I mean, I could totally see that too. So whichever is the case, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good, and I think if it wasn't going to be good, they, according to everybody I talked to who knows about these sorts of things, they had time to change it. They could have swapped out 5 kind of so-so cards with 5 $50 cards and just said, oh my god, we need to sell this. Now here's the thing, now I don't know anything about Wizards' process for this, but what I do know is that for a 100% reprint set, all you have to worry about is draft synergy. Otherwise, throw anything in there. When you're designing a new standard set and you're like, oh crap, we just caught something, there's an infinite combo, whoops, we need to remove this card from the sheet, and we only have a month to do it before it goes to the printers, because you've already approved the whole set and finalized it, but then somebody's like, oh, wait a minute. If that situation did happen, what would they throw in? I mean, they'd almost have to throw in like a 2/2 vanilla whatever, just like a 2/2 pirate for 2. Because, you know, what are you going to do with that? I mean, oh no, Tribal Synergy just got 1 card better, because everybody's going to put that in Constructed. I mean, if you're like, I don't know, just throw in like a 4/1 flyer for 2, that might throw off what you intended for the Constructed meta so ridiculously far. I mean, look what Marvel did. Look what Reflector Mage did. Look what Smuggler's Copter did. I mean, that's probably a better example. That's single-handedly just ruined Constructed. Reality Smasher was a mistake. I mean, I think that if they were to pull something and put it in Standard, it would have to be so powered down vanilla jank bulk like a 0/3 defender, just pile of garbage. Or just like, you know, remove an ability from the existing card or something and just cripple it. But for Masters, I mean, oh, you pull Shivan Dragon and put in like a more expensive red card in the rare slot. I mean, I could totally see that. So as far as price goes, these 3 don't look so good. But first of all, they might not be in the set. You know, let's just leave that open. But secondly, if this is just some, oh, cool, look at these cool cards, and the whole set's like not high value at all, I think they would have changed it. And they had time to change it after Iconic Masters was a disaster. I mean, they could pull 5 rares and put in 5 fetch lands. I mean, just think about that. All that would do is help fixing for draft. That's about it. Totally not a big deal. Now, if they did that with Standard, pulled 5 rares and put in 5 rare fetch lands, completely different standard meta for 2 years. You would go from 2-color to 3-color for 2 years, period. Nothing more to say about that. I mean, it would be Cons of Tarkir all over again. So what do you guys think? Place your bets down below. Do you think that these are the first 3 cards from Masters, or they were just examples? And what do you think will be in it? Like, do you think we'll see fetch lands again? Do you think that we'll see my theory, which is commanders that have only been front cards in commander sets and never reprinted since then except for Anthology? That will add some value, and they've never done it before, and the commanders are pretty story heavy usually. Will we see shock lands, pain lands? Will we see what's his face, Tarmogoyf again? Leave your guesses down below, because unfounded wanton speculation is like the best thing ever, and I'll see you guys next video.